Bonjour à tous et bienvenue sur un nouvel épisode de Vampyr. La dernière fois on avait sauvé quelqu'un qui était attaqué. Donc ça a bien enregistré puisqu'on peut passer par ici. On avait débloqué le raccourci qui permettait d'aller là-bas, mais on va pas y aller tout de suite parce qu'il y a des ennemis. On va les laisser tranquilles et nous on va aller à l'intérieur de ce qui ressemblait à un restaurant finalement. Juste espérer que le vampire n'est plus là. Alors, la fontaine, et c'était à droite, c'est ça. Voilà, on avait sauvé 7 personnes. Alors, est-ce que ça a pris en compte ce que j'ai pris? Oui. Alors maintenant, la question, c'est comment savoir c'était quel document? Suprématie, les espèces rares de vampires, peut-être? Non, c'était pas ça. Bannissement du dragon. Menace des icors, exterminer les parasites. Non, mais je ne sais plus le titre, c'est pas grave. Un document qu'on ne lira pas ensemble, c'est dommage. Ou si j'y pense, j'essaye de voir comment il s'appelait dans l'épisode précédent. Et puis, dans un épisode, je prendrai le temps de faire la lecture. Parce que je trouve que l'univers du jeu est bien développé et plutôt bien écrit. Donc c'est plutôt cool à explorer. Et j'ai envie d'en savoir plus. J'imagine que vous aussi, certainement, vous voulez en savoir plus. Alors, par ici, on a... Alors, on pourrait aller sur la gauche, mais je pense que ça nous amènera plutôt à des endroits qu'on explorera dans la suite de l'histoire et des quêtes. Nous, on va aller ici. Attention, niveau 29. Ok, c'est une icor, c'est-à-dire qu'elle balance de la pestilence autour d'elle. Ce qui me blesse, hein, qui m'empoisonne. On voit ma vie qui descend. Donc elle n'est pas très résistante physiquement, mais elle a une attaque qui fait mal. Sur la durée, ça peut être très dangereux comme ennemi. Il a quand même mis une petite claque. Je pensais l'avoir esquivé. C'est dommage. Alors, on a un refuge ici. On a vu le message s'afficher. C'est plutôt par là. Effectivement. Voilà. Hop. On récupère des balles. Quoi? On est chez notre mère? Petite clé. Ah, je m'attendais pas à croiser des gens.
Good evening.
Jonathan! Is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much.
Ok, maman a pété les plombs.
Days since their last visit.
A perdu la tête.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Il va partir ou mort, notre père?
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
T'inquiète, j'ai pris cher moi aussi.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome
Ok,
her
donc
to
elle sait
my
que je suis un
home.
vampire, hein. Ça, y a pas de souci. Ok.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson, and my son-in-law, you're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Oui et non.
Goodbye, mother.
Ouais, c'est plus ou moins qu'on
Try
est
to
mort,
rest
mais.
now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon.
Ok, bon, bah je pensais pas que la maison de sa mère lui servirait de refuge. J'avoue que ça me surprend pas mal. Voyons voir un peu ce qu'on peut trouver par ici. Première lettre d'Aubrey Reed, Manoir Reed, le 4 avril 1908. Mon très cher John, lorsque tu recevras cette lettre, tu auras 35 ans et je serai parti depuis bien longtemps. Cela me fait bizarre de t'écrire cette première lettre que tu ne liras pas avant plusieurs années. Je me suis longtemps demandé comment t'écrire tout ceci. Puis je me suis souvenu des énigmes que j'inventais pour toi lorsque tu étais enfant. Ah, que tu aimais résoudre ces énigmes. J'ai donc eu l'idée de te proposer un ultime petit jeu. J'ai bien peur de ne rien pouvoir t'offrir de tangible en guise de récompense. Si tu résous l'énigme, tu n'auras ni bonbons ni trésors exotiques, mais tu obtiendras une chose d'une valeur inestimable, la vérité. Ceci sera mon unique tentative de t'expliquer pourquoi j'ai choisi de quitter ma famille, sans aucune explication. Si tu veux obtenir des réponses, il te suffit de jouer à mon jeu. La décision t'appartient, mon fils. Quoi qu'il arrive, n'oublie pas que je t'aime. Ah, c'est notre père! Je te promets que ma famille a été, et est toujours ce qui compte le plus pour moi. Je me souviens encore de la première fois où je vous ai tenus dans mes bras, ta sœur et toi. Mes trésors, mes joyaux. Vous voir grandir, jouer et rire remplissait mon cœur de joie chaque fois que je rentrais à la maison. J'aurais été capable de tuer pour vous protéger. Mon fils, ma fille, ma femme, mais le destin a eu raison de moi et j'ai dû prendre une amère décision. Le pire a été de devoir partir sans me dire au revoir. J'ai décidé de le faire quand même, et bientôt je serai parti pour toujours. Je ne demande pas ton pardon, mais ta compréhension. Si tu veux en savoir plus, tout ce que tu dois faire, c'est te souvenir du bonheur que nous éprouvions dans ta jeunesse. Si tu souhaites trouver mon prochain message, pense à de hautes herbes et de grands arbres par un dimanche ensoleillé de la part de ton père aimant, Aubrey Reed.
I remember Sunday walks in the park.
Ok, une quête comme ça, c'est plutôt cool. Ça m'intéresse bien. Est-ce qu'elle est indiquée sur la carte? Oui, parfait. Parfait, et ben on va aller de message en message. Et puis on va découvrir la vérité sur le départ de ce père. Est-ce que cet épisode va être consacré à la nouvelle zone? Peut-être. J'ai l'impression qu'il y a pas mal de gens. Bah, ça va, Jonathan. T'avais du pognon hein, dans ta famille. Petit manoir tranquille.
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
Bah, c'est Alfred. Hein.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I'm sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
C'est vrai, c'est vrai. Il a raison.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avery?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war, and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did. Do you know why he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
C'est ce qu'on va essayer de trouver.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. you really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir. So my task is not over.
Quelle loyauté.
You have served this family extremely well, Avery. Your support during these terrible times is much appreciated.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
Pas de souci. Franchement, c'est un deal qui me va très bien.
You really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
Je ne sais vraiment pas.
I really don't know. I have always enjoyed seeing new horizons. Once the epidemic is over, it would be nice to leave London for a while.
I understand, Mr. Jonathan, but you have to realize that your mother needs you. Your next departure could break her heart.
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan, but please return as soon as possible.
J'essaierai si je suis pas mort dans un coin d'une rue. Bon, par contre, ça reste chez moi, donc je me sers dans les placards. Il n'y a pas de raison. Vieille lettre. Mon cher Avery, comme je vous l'ai dit il y a plusieurs jours, je vais être obligé de quitter l'Angleterre au moins pour quelques mois. Pendant mon absence, et tant que mon fils ne revient pas à Londres, je voudrais vous confier notre maison. J'ai déjà fait tout ce qu'il fallait pour augmenter votre salaire et m'assurer que vous le perceviez tant que vous remplissez votre tâche. Vous m'avez promis de protéger ma chère femme et de la servir du mieux que vous le pouviez. Je vous remercie du fond du cœur pour cela. Vous êtes la seule et unique personne en qui je puisse avoir confiance durant cette absence. Soyez assurés de mes sentiments les plus amicaux, Aubrey Reed. Alors, on est où là? On est ici. D'accord. Ok, bah je m'attendais pas à cette musique en fait, ça m'a fait bugger. Alors ça c'est un papier. Ça c'est les jardins, on ira plus tard. Ouais, on est dans une zone sécurisée, je peux pas me téléporter. Ah! La fille de Lady Ashbury.
Good evening, miss.
Oh my god, no. Please, Mr. Vampire, don't kill me. Please, no. I'm too young to die. I still have so much to offer this world.
Wait, no. Why do you think I would... What?
Don't worry, Dr. Reed. I know you wouldn't harm me. Mother told me you were in this part of town and might drop by.
Your mother?
My name is Charlotte, sir. Charlotte Ashbury. My mother taught me long ago how to recognize the signs that betray a vampire.
I understand she also taught you how to tease and gently mock innocent young Econs. It's a pleasure to meet you, Miss Charlotte. What do you think about this part of town?
I was raised here, and I suppose it feels like home. You grew up in this part of town too, did you not?
Yes, I was born a few streets away.
A small world, is it not? Did you ever imagine that my mother was your neighbor all that time? That you could have met her in a dark alley at night?
You won't trick me twice, young lady. We both know Lady Ashbury never hunts or attacks prey at random.
Come on, Doctor. Don't tell me you never thought about that possibility. Her fangs on your neck. Oh, are you blushing, Dr. Reed?
Ok, le côté très
Is there something that's
je te
bothering you?
taquine.
Too much selfishness and individualism for my taste. Even when there was no epidemic.
Even if that's partly true, May I remind you that many charitable institutions are financed by the selfish and filthy rich?
I suppose you're right. But society must reform and renew itself, or we are all done for.
What are you doing out here?
You mean, what do I do outside at night, since I am a woman? Let me ask you a question, sir. Would you ask the same question of a man?
Actually, yes. I ask the same question to everyone who dares to go outside at night, considering the risks.
Well, if you must know, I campaign for the right
Je
to
l'aime
vote
bien,
for
hein.
all women. Why should I wait to the age of 30 years when men can vote at 21?
Are you a suffragette, then? Oh, you really are Elizabeth's girl. Without a doubt.
All adult women have the right to vote in the US, in New Zealand, and in Australia. But women here can't vote unless they are property owners.
No need to convince me, Miss Charlotte. I have shared your opinion for a long time, even before I met Emmeline Pankhurst.
Really? Oh. Now I see why my mother appreciates you so much. Too bad there aren't more men like you in the vicinity.
How are the locals reacting to your claims?
People here can't wait for a wall to be built to isolate the West End from the rest of town. That's how progressive they are. If this happens, Emily and I will blow it up.
Explosives are very dangerous, young lady. And who is this Emily?
She is my best friend, and a suffragette too. She was supposed to campaign with me tonight, but hasn't turned up.
Have you any reason to be worried about her?
Recently, Emily started to believe in... well, she got interested in vampires. I'm afraid she might be in trouble.
Let me guess. You spoke to her about us, didn't you? Despite your mother's warning. I think I should try to find your friend.
Oh, that would be top-notch. I can tell you where she might have gone. You have my thanks, Dr. Reed. And please, don't tell my mother.
Ouais, on peut garder.
Tell me about your adoption.
What do you want to know?
Who are your real parents?
Elizabeth Ashbury is my real mother. She raised me and has taken care of me all my life. I have no idea who my progenitors are or were.
Do you live with her?
I still spend a lot of time in my mother's mansion, but I have my own house now. I have a life to live, you see. And one day, I'll have my death to face.
How did you meet Lady Ashbury?
First, I was an orphan in the institution for girls she manages in the West End. When I was 10, she adopted me, and I have lived with her ever since.
Did you know she was a vampire when she picked you?
The correct word is Econ, Doctor. And no, I had no idea why my mother only showed up at night. She told me everything when I turned 16, though I suspected the truth for a long time before that.
What exactly has your mother told you about me?
Your name and profession, obviously, and the mystery about your maker. I'm sorry to hear about what happened to your sister, sir. Mother says it was not your fault.
Does it not scare you to know what I am? What your mother is?
Why should it? My mother is the most compassionate woman. Must I be wary of her, Dr. Reed? Or you?
Of course not. You have nothing to fear from me, or your mother.
Good to know. And don't worry, my mother told me everything I need to know about vampire tricks, their nature as well as features.
Your mother is not like any other vampire I've met.
I believe she thinks the same about you, Dr. Reed.
Do you know why Lady Ashbury chose you to become her daughter?
No, I don't. Each time I ask her that question, she smiles and says it's precisely because I dare to ask such questions.
Do you ever regret that she chose you?
Of course not. Though I often wonder if she adopted others before me. If so, where are they buried? How was it for them to pass through life with a never-aging mother?
Why do you still hope to become a vampire in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge, I'm convinced of that.
You're obviously a clever woman with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one's side.
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother, and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte, when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashbury. It hurts as much as it makes me proud to know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage, just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Non.
Never. That would be betraying your mother's trust. She would never forgive us.
For sure. But look on the bright side. We would have eternity to reconcile.
Or an eternity to run away from your mother's mighty wrath. Quite a terrifying idea, don't you think?
Yes. I think it's wiser to let go of that part of the plan.
Ouais. Hein, on est d'accord.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.
Possiblement. Bon. On a récupéré une autre quête.
The Ascalon Club. The heart of British vampire society. Not quite as subtle as I expected.
Ah oui, juste là, d'accord. Oui. Je croyais que c'était le mec là à qui j'allais parler.
It has been such a long time since...
Good evening, sir. Please forgive me for disturbing you. I'm a doctor.
I never judge a man by his title, but by his attitude. And you are not disturbing me at all. I am Calhoun Russell, and I welcome you.
Well, I must admit it's good to receive a warm welcome for once. I'm Jonathan Reed.
Welcome, Dr. Reed. Welcome to my humble shop.
How is the situation in this part of town?
Life is good and peaceful. We're lucky to live in such an era of progress and wonders.
Are you not concerned about the epidemic?
Oh, I'm sure the authorities would take the appropriate measure if the danger were that high.
You cannot expect the newspapers to expose the truth while the war is still raging. I can assure you that the situation here is desperate.
Well, that's news then. But I can't believe that things are that bad. Are you sure you're not exaggerating a bit? For the thrill of it?
Ce serait complètement débile, donc non.
Is it not a little too late to be trading?
On the contrary, it is the perfect hour. Believe me, my friend, it is always at night that you meet the most fascinating characters.
But what about the epidemic? The bombs and raids? And all the random violence?
Please, sir, this is London, England. We will prevail. And if a bomb must fall on my shop, then I'll be there to hear it falling.
So you prefer to work at night?
Oh, I also enjoy a sunny day like everybody else. But the night always has a certain je ne sais quoi of its own.
What can you tell me about this place?
I recently found the best steak and kidney pie in the city. I'd be glad to share the address if you want.
Non, pas trop.
Finding a good restaurant? Is that really all that interests you?
Oh, I have many passions, but nothing brings me ecstasy like subtle and exquisite flavors from my teeth to my belly.
I must confess, I have quite specific tastes when it comes to nutrition.
Really? Well, I'm always happy to try new exotic meals. If you ever find an intriguing table, please share the address.
La banque du sang, ça t'intéresse? Ah non, c'est vraiment une enquête. D'accord, c'est vraiment une quête. On verra bien où est-ce qu'elle se passe.
Do you have any family nearby?
Not since my parents died. I'm London's lone gourmet.
Really? But you seem to be such a pleasant and sociable fellow.
I'm afraid the real hedonist has to be sometimes. I discovered ecstasy as a solitary pleasure, but it does not mean it can't ever be shared.
London's lone gourmet. What a strange title.
I used that name in my early years when I was a food critic, and I kept it.
Bon, regardons ce qu'il a.
Look at your goods, Mr. Russell.
On sait jamais s'il a peut-être un objet de quête. Non, il a un peu du fourre-tout, donc bon. Ah, quoi que, attends.
Good evening.
Oui, mais je peux peut-être lui vendre des choses. Excellente valeur. Hop. Excellente valeur. Ça en garde, ça en garde. Ça on peut pas le transformer, donc ça vire. Ça on garde tout ça. Ça peut être recyclé, recyclé. Je vais garder maintenant tout ce qui peut être recyclé parce que en termes d'argent je suis bien. Et j'ai pas vraiment besoin d'en avoir plus pour le moment. Alors on a eu 2 quêtes. Trouver la maison d'Emily qui est par là-bas. D'accord. Je sais pas trop comment y accéder. Et toi ? C'est soit... D'accord, c'est plusieurs lieux à visiter. Bon. On verra bien. Là, on a un inconnu qui tape aux portes.
Good evening, sir. May I have your attention, please?
Come on, Johnny. Don't you recognize your oldest friend?
Clarence. Clarence Crossley. How are you? My God. So you survived the war too. So sorry I didn't recognize you at first.
I almost didn't recognize you either. War does that to men, I heard. In my case, it was true, for I witnessed the horror that lies underneath.
When did you escape the war and return to London?
You know what's funny? I almost never think about the war. Not anymore. I'm involved in another kind of battle now.
I know what you mean. I haven't had much time to think about the war either since my return.
Of course. With the epidemic, I bet you've been busy as well. Forgive me, Johnny, I didn't want to sound selfish.
What is this new battle?
I saw terrible things during the war. Horrors I thought I'd forget. They're here too. They're everywhere. Vampires.
Ok. Qu'est-ce qui t'arrive?
How is your wife, Venus?
We've spent so much time away from each other. And so many things have happened.
But you're alive. You returned in one piece and you have a family. How many soldiers can say the same?
Believe me, it's not quite that simple. Unlike you, I'm not the man I used to be.
Is everything all right at home? Surely Venus was relieved to see you return from France in one piece.
Have you forgot what people are like in this part of town, Johnny? Venus fears for our family reputation. Now her husband has become the village idiot.
Ok, bon, ça va pas bien trop dans ta famille.
Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Ça va pas du tout dans sa famille à lui. Attends, par là, je vais où? Je vais derrière le club. Donc j'avais dit que je voulais pas aller derrière le club à la base. Donc là on a Charlotte, là on a le gourmet.
I cannot enter.
Ça ne peut pas s'ouvrir et là on a de nouveau des ennemis, donc c'est pas ici. Un avertissement. Ok, les vampires. Et là, je suis en train d'aller aussi de l'autre côté, donc vers les missions secondaires. C'est pas ce que je veux faire tout de suite. Il y a sa femme qui est ici. Est-ce qu'on va pouvoir rentrer?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jonathan, is that you? I did not know you were back in London. Oh, my dear Johnny, I'm so sorry for your loss. Mary was such a sweetheart.
Thank you, Venus. May I come in?
I was going to bed, actually.
Ok.
Forgive me. With the epidemic, I tend to forget people are supposed to sleep at night.
I'll tell you what. Come back tomorrow for tea. I'll be glad to see you then.
Est-ce que tu peux faire ton thé à 20h, s'il te plaît? Bon, on peut pas rentrer, on a pas assez de niveau de charme pour la persuader de nous ouvrir la porte. Et là, pareil, je suis en train de faire le tour du club. Ce qui n'est pas ce que je voulais faire. J'ai des chutes de FPS. Allez, on revient à 30. Le truc, c'est que c'est l'enregistrement, parce que... Comme je vous le dis à chaque fois, c'est que moi, je le vois pas. Donc, ça se trouve, il y a vraiment des moments où il y a des chutes de FPS et je les ai pas vus. Et parce que moi, mon jeu, il est resté fluide. Mon écran de jeu est resté fluide et donc, forcément, je crois... J'ai pas tilté. Mais j'ai l'impression que ça arrive sur les phases de dialogue à chaque fois. Voilà, et normalement ça, voilà, ça fait un grand raccourci. C'est pas mal du tout. Bien. Alors, on est à 38 minutes. On va aller au Club Ascalon. Je pensais arrêter ici, mais... Mais tant qu'à faire, allons voir le club. De toute façon, j'ai pas vu d'autres personnes. Donc avant de pénétrer, on fait le tour sur les côtés. Et là, à mon avis, beaucoup de dialogue et de cinématiques. Moi, je l'imagine vieux, le chef du Club Ascalon. Je l'imagine quand même avec cette classe et ce charisme de vieux.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Je vois que vous avez été occupé. Je peux te parler?
Welcome to the...
Non, apparemment non.
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club.
Non. Je ne peux pas lui parler pour le moment. Peut-être. Je vois les gens. Il manque plein de gens, mais lui il n'est pas dedans. Bon, vous accuserez la garde de Prywen. Hein. Très très bien. Alors, où est-ce qu'il m'attend? Ça c'est la bonne question. Histoire et objectif du Club Ascalon. Le Club Ascalon est une association de gentlemen qui vise secrètement à protéger les intérêts de la couronne. Je l'ai fondé en 1837 pour honorer et perpétuer l'héritage de mon créateur William Marshall, premier comte de Pembroke et véritable protecteur de l'Angleterre. Tous les membres du club doivent posséder une bonne ascendance et des valeurs morales irréprochables. Puisque le club accepte les membres mortels qui seront placés sous observation et jugés en tant que candidats à l'immortalité, notre objectif est d'imposer des traditions et des conduites respectables au sein de la bonne société vampirique, mais aussi de promouvoir et étendre l'hégémonie de l'Angleterre. Nous sommes la véritable élite de la société britannique. Nous sommes Ascalon, la sainte lance tenue par Saint George, protecteur de l'Angleterre, lorsqu'il a terrassé le dragon. Nous, lanciers, faisons le serment de défendre les intérêts de l'Empire. Rien que ça. Et rien que cela. Ah, merde, quel con. Et je pouvais pas savoir que c'était la sortie. Ok, je suis à l'arrière. On revient. Bon, désolé pour ce double temps de chargement. Et on grimpe. Lord de Finney. Arthur Pembleton en bas. Bon, c'est pas des trucs très fous hein, qu'on récupère. Pas se mentir. Mais bon, c'est gratuit, on peut se servir. Ok, alors c'est totalement derrière ce rideau, hein, on va pas jouer les dupes. Et dague de qualité. Est-ce que c'est une arme? Oui, c'est une arme. C'est une arme. Alors, est-ce que ce serait mieux que ça? Non. Attends, c'est quoi? C'est une main gauche. Ok. C'est pas intéressant. J'aimerais bien avoir une grosse arme, une meilleure arme encore à deux mains. Je serais plutôt content. Parce que finalement je me bats avec ça. Je trouve que c'est plus efficace.
Good evening. We repel the intruders for now.
My good friends, if I may have your attention.
Ah, je l'imaginais pas trop comme ça.
Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him. Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is immortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord,
Allez, le
do
sexisme.
not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why have you asked me here?
Because the crisis is escalating. Our enemies, the Garda Priwen, have even launched an open hunt. The only way to calm things down is to put an end to the epidemic.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon, who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
Non, je ne le connais pas.
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. the good knight has been gone for so long.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country.
Je vais devoir manger quelqu'un ou comment ça se passe?
My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall, speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Bien. Et c'est sur ça, cette initiation qu'on va arrêter cet épisode. On va aller parler à tous les vampires autour, essayer de récupérer des infos. On va voir vers où la quête principale nous emmène et je pense que dans le prochain épisode on fera des quêtes secondaires. Sur ce, j'espère que que cet épisode vous a plu et nous on se retrouve très vite pour la suite de nos aventures dans Vampyr. À la prochaine.